um, a live segment that I do Monday through Friday. Typically, I skipped yesterday, the holiday. I hope you enjoyed. Those of you in the United States watching in, hopefully you enjoyed Labor Day. It's funny. I have middle school, high school age kids. My sons were asking me as we were driving around over the weekend doing stuff. They're like, "Dad, why do we have Labor Day? Like, what is it for?" And that's a great question. That's a great question to, comprehend and ask and, think about. And as we were, discussing it, and, I didn't go into the deep history why we have Labor Day, but it does stem from the ability to take and recognize the work that's been done and why. But again, I kick off today and say thank you for being here. Glad you're here. Excited to be sharing with you. Excited to be sharing this day, and be glad that we're able to gather in here. So, first thing I want to kick off with and say is um, it's fall. It is fall. If you can't tell where you live, man, it sure is fall here. We have the weather that has changed. We have the conditions that have changed. It's almost like overnight where we have this crispness in the air. This just you can tell it's different, even though it may be hot. You can tell it's different. That has been the case for where we live here in the last week, and I love the fall. It's, something that I enjoy, just everything that comes in the fall, all of the different activities that come in the fall. For myself and my family, we have a lot of kids' activities, between two kids playing soccer, two kids playing football, a basketball player, and a dancer. And we have three kids. So do the math, figure it out. It is a little chaotic. But this is what I want to ask of you as we get ready for this time of year. Will you coast through the rest of the year or set yourself up for 2023? I heard this amazing stat. It's amazing because it took me a moment to stop and rationalize. Yes, I knew that. Is the average person in the United States right now. And what's interesting is you can convert this to, if you're in Canada, if you're in the UK, euros, if you're somewhere else in the world, South America, Asia, Australasia, it does not matter. It will cost an extra $5,200 this year to live the same lifestyle we had a year ago. Now, I think that's pretty conservative. I think that's a pretty low number. I think that's someone who, maybe doesn't have to go through a rental price increase, doesn't have to, experience maybe some of the other costs associated if they're literally doing nothing different. And that's the world we live in. But it is what it is. It's not going to change quickly. Now, we can either be, taken back by that. It's going to affect our business, whatever that business of yours may be. Or you can say, all right, how can I be proactive? How can I get ahead of that? How can I either find some efficiencies because we have, some waste that we need to address? And more importantly, that how can we generate more income? How can we get more for what we're doing? And those are always the questions. And I ask you this morning, as you guys are watching in, to think about that is what are you doing to set up yourself for the rest of the year and next year, as opposed to just coasting and then having to deal with it once we hit January. As I've gone through this, as I've gone through, ups and downs in my past, there were times of my career where I got into the fall and it was like college football season. It is background with cows, cow shows, those things. Those are what my fall, really, encompassed. And it wasn't necessarily what am I doing to prepare myself? What am I going to do the next 90 to 100 days to really capitalize and spring forward before the next year? Now you can look at this opportunity for, the next quarter. What do we're already the end of the third quarter, getting ready to the fourth quarter. What's the fourth quarter going to look like? Teams that play quarters, whether you split the game into quarters or they actually have quarters, companies, where they focus on the most? The fourth quarter. What are we going to do in the fourth quarter to set ourselves up for the first quarter? What are we going to do in the fourth quarter? What are we going to do in the last 15 minutes? What are we going to do in the last 20 minutes in order to propel ourselves to a win or getting ready for that next one. And I encourage you to do the same. This is something that I will be doing, and I would, really kind of suggest to you as well, is to focus on growing and learning. Where am I taking my time? Where are my activities? Instead of just numbing away in the world, what's something new I can learn? What's something new I can do that's really going to set myself up for next year? All right. Last thing, gonna leave you with here to my thought of the day. It pops up there. Work is not a burden to a life lived well. Why do we work? Yes, we need to work to make money. Yes, we need to work to provide. Yes, we need to work to occupy our time. And I'm at an age where in my early 40s, and it's kind of funny that you're like, well, if you're working, there's kind of a couple ways views to look at work. Oh, you didn't have a 7, 8, 10 figure exit yet. I see why you have to work. Oh, you're not doing things to give yourself freedom. Oh, you're just counting down the days until you can, have enough in your, retirement account, enough in your real estate portfolio, enough in your pension, whatever that may be, in order that you don't have to work anymore. Those are what people view when you think about work. And then there's other people. You're like, I can't wait to continue to navigate forward and find the things that continue to invigorate and fulfill me. I'm not a person, honestly, that's looking for a day where my schedule is so, doesn't have things going on where I'm trying to fill it with golf, pickleball, whatever else. I enjoy being active. I enjoy doing those things. But you know what I love more? I love more doing it in impacting others. I love being involved with other people growing and doing things. That's invigorating to me. Going and trying to hit a golf ball better today than I did yesterday, it's not invigorating to me. It isn't. I know I can make a bigger impact with my life than doing that. Life is meant to be done working. Work is not a burden to a life well lived. Life is about work. It's great. It is something that gives us meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Work is not a burden to a life lived well. Hope you got value from today. Thank you for being here.